Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I put together some chicken recipes that my family has been loving and I know yours will too. I added 2 teaspoons of cornstarch to my basic buttermilk mixture. That is gonna make my chicken super juicy and tender. And then to make it even more tender, I'm just removing the tendon from the chicken strip. So as you can see, I'm taking my fork, I'm pulling the tendon through one of the prongs of the fork, and it just slides right out. I turned my biscuit dough out onto a cutting board and it looks really crumbly, and that is what you want. I'm just lightly pressing it into a rectangle with my fingers, and then I'm gonna laminate the dough to make sure that I get flaky, tender layers. So the trick is to fold it, press it into the rectangle, and then rotate it 90 degrees. Then you fold it, press it onto the rectangle, turn it 90 degrees. You're gonna do that 5 to 6 times to get some nice, tender, flaky layers. Using a mason jar lid, a glass, a coffee cup, whatever gives you a round shape, a single recipe will yield 6 biscuits. I doubled the recipe to get more. And as you can see, I'm going to show you at the end what laminating the dough will do to the layers in the biscuits. You cook this at 425 degrees in the oven for about 8 to 12 minutes. Put heavy cream or an egg wash or some butter on top so it gets nice and brown on top. And this is the mess you have when you cook from scratch. This honey mustard dipping sauce could not be simpler. It's equal parts honey, mustard, and mayonnaise. Mix it together and it's done. It is delicious. As you saw earlier, I added ranch dressing seasoning to my crushed up crackers, some flour, and some seasonings, and I'm just coating the chicken. Medium-high heat seems to be the sweet spot for me in my kitchen when I'm deep frying, but to be more precise, you want your oil to be about 365 degrees, or what you can do is just take some of the breading, crumble it in there, and if it starts to fry, then your oil's ready. Roasting a chicken is not the most glamorous thing when you're prepping it, but it is so well worth it to get your hands under that skin, because that is where you're gonna put a compound butter. It's gonna keep the meat nice and moist, and then you're gonna put that same butter on top of the skin and it's gonna make it nice and crispy, and then you're gonna put a spice mixture on the top. I have all of the instructions and details down below in my description box. is what your chicken looks like after it's been in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour and 15 minutes, or until the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees. And those pan drippings, you have got to make a gravy with it. It is so delicious. I have the exact recipe for that gravy down below. This was our favorite way to make chicken taco filling. You just take your chicken breast, you add chicken broth, the zest and the juice of 2 limes, and some Mexican spices. Let it hang out in the crock pot with those juices, and it is amazing for tacos. For a quick and yummy pasta sauce, just brown an onion with some garlic, add some ground chicken and cook that through, and then add some yummy spices on top. I added some fresh parsley also with some crushed tomatoes and some tomato sauce and some sugar to offset the acidity. And then just go ahead and let that simmer and get really flavorful, and it will be perfect on top of pasta. I hope this gave you some great ideas next time you pull chicken out for dinner. My family loved these meals, and I hope yours do too. As always, go ahead and subscribe so you see me weekly for meals and planning and just everyday mom life. Even in the hard times.